Hi, my name is Dr. Sarah Gordon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SATARLA, the risk management consultancy. And I'm standing here in front of the Houses of Parliament here in the United Kingdom on the 13th of December 2019, the day after we've had a general election. And so just round on the other side of me, you can see rather a lot of the world's press doing slightly more formal interviews than that one that I'm doing now. So, to question number one that has been sent to me by the wonderful Gareth Byatt, and that is, what's a good way to deal with uncertainty in today's world? Well, I think number one, you've got to just embrace it. You've got to embrace uncertainty. You're never going to understand everything that might be about to occur to you. I've just had quite a fiery conversation actually with two gentlemen who have polar opposite views to me with regards to politics and with regards to things like Brexit. And I think if there is one thing that we agreed on, it was that at least now, following the results of this general election, where the Conservative Party have won a majority, and so therefore the UK will be exiting the EU from a trade sense in early 2020. At least now we have a bit more certainty with regards to what's happening to the United Kingdom after 3.5 years of fairly large question marks in terms of what was going to happen from a Brexit point of view. Obviously, with uncertainty comes a whole array of both threat and opportunity. Those are, of course, our risks. And these are the things that we can decide to either take advantage of or try and reduce so that they don't impact on whatever it is we're actually trying to achieve. So how do we deal with uncertainty, embrace it, find it exciting, and in that, of course, you can really make best use of those opportunities that might occur. Question number two, can facts triumph over opinion? So during the course of this particular general election, the point was actually raised as to what should happen to a politician if they lie, especially during the build-up to an election when they're trying to gain votes. And of course, lying is something that generally does not make use of real facts. There may be some alternative facts in there if people think that they might be useful. But this is something here where I think especially politicians have been tapping into the subjectivity of how people maybe make decisions now. Often when we're trying to make decisions, the really difficult thing is trying to ascertain what is the real question that we're asking, that we're actually trying to decide on. With regards to this vote overnight, were people voting for or against Brexit, so to remain in the EU or to leave? Were people voting for a Prime Minister, so be it Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn? Were people voting for their own representative in their own constituency, so therefore their own MP? And of course, you get MPs that are going to do more for you locally and other MPs who, to be honest, don't really care about their local constituency. Or finally, perhaps individuals were voting for a particular party that had a manifesto that placed more weight on, be it the National Health Service or climate change, for example. And this is one of the big problems, especially when it comes down to something like a general election, because people aren't all answering the same question. People are answering an array of questions, and at the end of the day, you only have one cross or one vote that you can cast to try and give a semblance of your opinion with regards to what you think should happen to your country. So, can facts triumph over our opinions? Well, I think that we still obviously need our facts. For those of us who are perhaps scientists or engineers, I'm a scientist originally, I will always look for the facts, I'll look for what is real, but also be incredibly cognizant of the fact that you're never going to have all of the information, all of the data that you need in order to make that decision. So therefore, your decision needs to be risk-based and needs to have an element of subjectivity and opinion brought into it based on the best knowledge that you have at your fingertips at that point in time. And the final question is, how can we best prepare and be nimble enough to achieve our objectives and also be willing to change those objectives if we don't think they're necessarily right? So this is a case here as somebody who's been running a business in the UK with different offices based around the world over the last 3.5 years, during that time where we've really gone through Brexit as a whole, where in this building behind me here, yes, the Houses of Parliament, they've been trying to decide what to do about Brexit. This has been something where we've had to be incredibly nimble and open to changes in people's opinion and knowledge with regards to how do you actually run a business in a Brexit-laden environment. And so it's a case here where you need to be open to change, you need to be prepared to invest and put controls in place where you didn't necessarily bank on putting them in place before. But also as well, of course, with a changing environment potentially comes new opportunities, and so therefore new objectives, and those companies that will really survive perhaps or excel in this environment that the UK is moving into at the moment, and of course it's not just the UK, there's lots of change going on across the world, are those ones that can embrace that change, embrace those opportunities and put in place those controls to make sure that they actually achieve them. So with that, thank you very much. Bring on a fantastic 2020 with all of those brilliant opportunities that I'm sure it will bring. Thank you.